Welcome to my channel. Most enterprise AI programs do not fail because of weak models. They fail because the organization cannot absorb the coordination burden created by AI itself. For years, enterprise AI discussions have focused primarily on model capability, compute power, and data scale. But inside large organizations, the dominant constraint is increasingly institutional synchronization. Every AI deployment creates new dependencies across governance, legal, risk, architecture, operations, and executive oversight. As AI velocity increases, the ability of the enterprise to coordinate decisions, controls, and accountability structures becomes the real scaling bottleneck. The hidden cost of enterprise AI is not compute, it is coordination. If you find these enterprise AI discussions valuable, you may consider subscribing to my YouTube channel for future deep dives on leadership, transformation, and AI execution. The hidden cost of enterprise AI is institutional synchronization. Every AI deployment expands organizational dependency chains. Governance teams require oversight. Legal teams require reviews. Risk teams require validation. Architecture teams require integration alignment. Operations teams require workflow redesign. This creates what can be described as a coordination tax, the cumulative overhead required to align fragmented systems, controls, and accountability structures before AI can scale responsibly. And this is where many enterprise AI programs quietly lose momentum. The technical deployment may succeed, but the organization itself struggles to operationalize AI at enterprise velocity. This is why so many enterprise AI initiatives become trapped in perpetual pilot cycles. The model works, the pilot succeeds, the ROI case is approved, yet operational scaling slows dramatically afterward. Why? Because most enterprise operating models were never designed for algorithmic speed. Legacy architectures remain fragmented, approval chains remain human-intensive, governance models remain reactive, accountability structures remain unclear. As a result, scaling friction accumulates faster than operational velocity gains. The challenge is no longer technical feasibility, it is orchestration maturity. Every layer of enterprise oversight introduces additional alignment overhead before AI can scale safely. The executive oversight creates accountability complexity. Governance and compliance introduce approval cycles. Legal reviews introduce latency. Architecture introduces dependency mapping challenges. Data ownership creates lineage and access control friction. Operations introduce workflow redesign requirements. And human approval chains slow automated decision velocity. Individually, each layer appears rational. Collectively, they create compounding deployment drag. This is the coordination tax in practice, institutional friction expanding faster than AI deployment capability. One of the least discussed realities in enterprise AI is that oversight friction is beginning to exceed automation friction reduction. AI successfully removes manual processing, repetitive analysis, reporting overhead, and pattern recognition delays. But simultaneously, enterprises introduce governance reviews, risk assessments, compliance workflows, legal sign-offs, and accountability mapping exercises. Eventually, organizations reach a tipping point where coordination overhead grows faster than AI-generated velocity gains. At that point, the economics of transformation fundamentally change. The organization becomes the bottleneck. This creates a major strategic shift in how enterprise AI should be understood. The central question is no longer, how powerful is the model? The real question is, how much organizational coordination is required to operationalize the model responsibly? That distinction is critical. Enterprise AI is no longer simply a technology deployment challenge. It is an institutional redesign challenge. The organizations that recognize this early will approach AI transformation differently, through governance redesign, workflow restructuring, decision orchestration, and accountability engineering. As enterprise AI scales, organizations are now managing several competing forces simultaneously. AI velocity increasingly collides with governance latency. Centralized control conflicts with federated business autonomy. Automation scale clashes with human approval dependency. And innovation ambition must continuously balance against operational resilience. These tensions explain why many enterprises remain trapped between experimentation and true operational deployment. The challenge is not capability shortage. The challenge is coordinating institutional systems fast enough to support AI at scale. Enterprise AI is fundamentally an orchestration challenge. The enterprises that scale AI successfully may not necessarily have the best models. They will have the fastest coordination systems. They will have the clearest accountability structures. And they will have governance architectures capable of operating at algorithmic speed. This becomes especially important as enterprises move toward increasingly autonomous and agentic systems. Governance is no longer a secondary control layer. It is becoming strategic infrastructure. In the next phase of enterprise AI, competitive advantage may depend less on model access and more on institutional readiness. Because ultimately, governance is no longer a brake on AI transformation. It is becoming the steering system for enterprise scale AI velocity.